Welcome to Movie Magic 96, your one-stop shop for all things movies. From reviews, unboxings, and collections, I'm here to celebrate the magic of cinema. Now, let's roll the film. Today, we'll be going way back to the first memories of seeing movies in the theater. I got help from my mom with the earliest years, so without further ado, let's dive in. All right, so first up here we have Hercules, and obviously being 1 year old, I don't remember much from going to the movies, but my mom said that through the trailers and everything, I liked Meg, which is probably very true to the type of girls that I'm into now. Not like a Cinderella type, but more of a joking and not taking things too seriously. But and I know my brother really enjoyed Hercules, the character, so that would have been my first memory. Next, we of course go to another Disney movie, and that is Mulan. And I mean, for me, she's probably the strongest Disney princess. I mean, she saved the entire country of China. And obviously Eddie Murphy too, as Mushu. You know, this is his animated character before Donkey. That I feel like a lot of people don't remember as much because Donkey is so iconic and obviously spawned a massive franchise and stuff like that. But Mulan is a really good Disney movie as well. And I remember leaving the theater with my brothers, and we always kept singing "I'll Make a Man Out of You." It was such a great song. So obviously huge Disney kids. What's next here? We have Toy Story 2. So I was not born for the first Toy Story, which came out in 1995. But we watched that constantly, constantly on VHS. And Buzz Lightyear, he's somewhere in the back. Buzz Lightyear was my favorite character. My brother's favorite character was Woody, and he had a Woody figure. I had a Buzz Lightyear figure, so we would, play toys as little kids. But yeah, so seeing Toy Story 2 in the theater was amazing. Like I said, we had that VHS tape of the first one on loop, and that's where I learned about it. And it's definitely my favorite Pixar franchise to this day. What a shocker! More Disney coming up, and of course we have Tarzan. This one's probably I have the most memories of what I've said so far, just because I was the oldest. I was like 3 years old, and I just remember the soundtrack being so good. Obviously, at 3 years old, I didn't remember or I didn't know who Phil Collins was, but just having so much fun singing the songs or learning the songs in the theater, and then singing them when we went at home. And just anything with animals was, cute and cuddly animals was eye grabbing for a younger kid. And yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Oh, my friend at the time, one of my youngest friends, had a PC game. I know it was not a system, but he had a PC game of Tarzan, which at some point I want to look up and see like what you do and stuff like that. But yeah, that was definitely one of my earliest memories, playing this PC game when I was like 3-4 years old. And yeah, at some point, like I said, I want to go back and watch someone like stream it or something like that, because I remember playing it, but I can't remember anything about the game. But I'm sure it followed the movie as like a tie-in, which they had a lot of tie-in movie video games at the time, so it probably wasn't that good. But okay, so boom, more Disney, of course. We've got Monsters Inc. And this one I actually really do remember. I would have been 5 at the time, 96 to 2001. And I actually remember going with my grandma, and we went to a different theater because she didn't live in the same town or vicinity as we did. So yeah, so we went to a different theater, and it was just super funny. We had a good time, and of course, it's funny when you watch something super young and you see how it affects you to this day. So monsters and stuff like that you find cool as a little kid, and then obviously years later we watch all these movies of whether it be Frankenstein or Dracula or something like that. So something like this could have spawned the movies that I got into later on. So yeah, Monsters Inc. is definitely a classic. And we spoke on this a little bit earlier, but Shrek. Shrek, we have the DVD downstairs, and of course I got this Blu-ray. Let me know if the 4K is any good. It probably doesn't lend itself to really a good 4K transfer, because this is the early years of animation and stuff like that. But yeah, so let me know if it's good. Drop it down below. yeah, I just remember the hype on this being so big at the time. I mean, obviously it's not a Disney movie, but you don't know that as a little kid, even though it says DreamWorks on the top, you see an animated movie and, you see a donkey and Eddie Murphy and you're like, okay, yeah, I want to watch that. Yeah, so I think it was this one. I don't think it was Shrek 2, but there was so much, everything was Shrek. There was Shrek like green ketchup. There was Shrek, every type of product in the store and stuff like that. And somehow you subconsciously or subliminally knew about Shrek before it came out. They did an amazing, probably besides Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, like the best marketing for this movie, so kids would want to see it, and it spawned super well. And so as a kid, I think I showed off in one of my older videos. I got a donkey like plush figure, and when you squeeze him, he says his quotes from the movie. So after we saw this, I don't know if it would have been a week after or a day after or whatever, but we went to Toys R Us, and then I got a donkey figure. All right, so now we're going into 2002's Spider-Man, and this is like probably my most vivid memory. I think when, again, I was 6 years old. I think when the movie was coming out, my brother had wanted to see it, and my parents had wanted to see it. It was getting hyped to be, at the time, like the biggest superhero movie since either Superman or Batman, the original Batmans. And so I think through a magazine, like my mom showed me a magazine and showed me a picture of the Green Goblin and was like, are you scared of him, or can you watch this, or are you excited for it? And I was like, yeah, absolutely, I want to watch this. So we went and saw Spider-Man in the theater, and this is one of them that like probably changed my life or something. I know we had X-Men on VHS, and I know I love the Wolverine, but it wasn't as big as Batman's my favorite superhero and Spider-Man's my second favorite superhero. But of course, those Batman movies I didn't get to see in the theater, so this is like my first, I would think my first superhero movie that I saw in the theaters. And Tobey Maguire and just the cast were absolutely amazing. And seeing someone, New York obviously being close to us and a place that I visited a bunch of times, seeing someone swing through New York and everything was just mesmerizing as a kid. And then that year, going on to that Halloween, I was Spider-Man along with every other kid for Halloween. So that's a great memory for that one. Probably my favorite out of all of these so far. And then another Disney tie-in. We used to go to Disney a bunch when I was a little kid. A thing in New Jersey. It's not just, I don't know how to describe it, but when it's cold in the wintertime, in the Northeast or anywhere like Florida or Disney World is like a place that a bunch of people go to and stuff like that. But yeah, so I remember I had a weird memory, but probably this was the first time, being 7 years old, knowing who or seeing Johnny Depp in a movie, and I was just like amazed by him. He was just he took up the screen. This is how you do it. He's not the main focus of the movie, and that's what I love so much. But you just see him on screen, and he just is hysterical, and his mannerisms and everything. It really makes you stand out all these years later. And I definitely had a crush on Keira Knightley, Elizabeth Swann, but I do remember. We used to go to, we would never buy like everybody else, we would never buy the movie theater, candy and stuff like that. So we would go, to wherever the dollar store, ShopRite, something like that, and get candy and drinks and sneak them in like everybody else did. But I remember getting like a big thing of sour Skittles, not like a, what do you call it? The smaller ones, but like one that you would have to like Ziploc close or something. And I got a whole thing of sour Skittles because I love sour candy, and I ate the whole bag. And what was funny was afterwards, like my tongue was like sour and had green or whatever it was for like days after. I brushed my teeth, I did everything, and I couldn't get the sour away from me. So that's what I'll learn. That's how I learned to not eat all that sour candy all at once or something. But that's a cool memory from Pirates of the Caribbean. And I also remember riding the ride in Disney World before obviously they put Jack Sparrow in it. So same year, and of course another Disney movie. But we've got Finding Nemo, and this was another one that I think we saw with my grandma, and I just remember being like sad as a kid. You if you go back and watch it now, if you have kids, if you have someone, little cousins or something like that, that you take care of and stuff, obviously it'll hit harder than someone who doesn't. But even as a little kid, uh, just the beginning of it with Nemo's mom and and just the whole movie of Nemo wanting to like grow up and stuff like that. It really is a sad movie, and I think Pixar does that the best from Disney and Pixar. But yeah, I just remember being in the theater and liking it, but we didn't revisit it that much. Like we had it on DVD, but it was yeah, we didn't rewatch it that much because I would be put in a sad mood even as a little kid while watching this one. So okay, so for this one, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and SpongeBob is my favorite animated TV show of all time. Just hysterically funny. I remember it might have been like after the Kids' Choice Awards or something in 1999 where they showed it for the first time, and I was like 3 years old. And just watching it, and he's just so funny, and just everything with the ocean. I love all the stuff in the ocean, and yeah. So we obviously went to see the SpongeBob movie. We got it on, have it downstairs on DVD as well. This is the 4K Steelbook, and just loving it. Just thinking it was so funny, and it was a great story. And actually, the theater that we went to see this in, I don't know how I remember this, but the theater that we went to see this in is closed. It's not a movie theater anymore. So that's a cool little memory and a tidbit from it. But yeah, I mean, just I at some point I'll have to do a video about SpongeBob the TV show because it's just I still watch it to this day. I'm still obsessed with it. Okay, so now going into the next Shrek, and that is Shrek 2. And obviously, with the first one doing so well, we got a sequel, and of course we got Puss in Boots there, and that was sort of a meme before the meme. Just that we would like pause the DVD and just look at Puss in Boots because he was so cute doing his little face, and yeah, this one comes really close to the original. I just remember having so much fun in the theater watching it with my brothers, and I think, speaking of marketing and stuff like that, I think we got I got the CD before the movie came out, and there were so many good songs on here. So yeah, I think I would have got the CD, and that's the whole cross marketing of you get the CD before, or you get the video game after, or you get a toy and stuff like that. And it was something that still happens nowadays. But obviously, I don't know if you don't have as much time, but they still do stuff with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. I see that at Target, Walmart, stuff like that. And Jurassic World stuff, but it really was an experience that you would either get the CD, or you would get the video game, or you would get a toy, or you would get a plush, or you would get something. And and of course they do marketing, and or they don't do marketing as aggressive as they were back in the day, but yeah, I miss those days and stuff like that. So all right, we're almost done. Hang in there. But we've got Batman Begins, and I just remember as a kid, since there's no social media, and maybe you would catch the trailer, maybe you would not, but you just hear, oh, there's a new Batman movie, and we had the 4 on VHS from back in the day, and we would watch those like crazy. I remember my brother loved Mr. Freeze. I probably watched the Batman Forever the most, like in Jim Carrey and all the colors and stuff like that. That was probably my favorite, if I had to take a guess. But yeah, I just remember, like I said, going to the movies blind. Like, all I probably knew about it is if I saw a trailer, and you know, my mom or someone would have told me like, this is it's a new Batman movie and there's a new actor, and you're like, okay, cool, like I'm sold. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But just you know, being 9 years old, which if someone was 9 years old when Batman 89 came out, they would have just been amazed and entranced to be, you know, transported to this world. And obviously having seen on VHS, probably not in the theater, but I might have, The Phantom Menace, and loving Qui-Gon Jinn, Liam Neeson, and he was in this movie. You go, you know, you watch it, and as a little kid, you're like, oh, that's this guy from this thing. So yeah, I mean, Batman's my favorite probably character of all time. So that's my memory from Batman Begins. And last but not least, we're gonna go into my Star Wars set, and we're gonna go to 2005's Revenge of the Sith, and of course we have Anakin right there. And for me, I remember having friends at the time that it was funny. I had friends that I played sports with, and then I had friends I would that they didn't play sports, and we would just hang out and stuff like that. And it's so easy to make friends as a little kid. Now it's so hard. Yeah, I remember obviously the hype of this one being huge, massively huge. It almost made $1 billion, and you know, I think the marketing and stuff was the biggest for episode 1, just because there was that gap of 16 years from 1983 from Return of the Jedi to 1999 without a new movie, with the toys and stuff like that. But for this one, just because the saga was coming to a close, I just remember everyone was going crazy. And of course, at least in my mind, of 1, 2, and 3, Attack of the Clones is my least favorite of those three. And a lot of people are not too high on episode 1. But of course, we had those on VHS and DVD and would watch those constantly, like every year. So when this one was coming out, we knew this was the end. And of course, you're young, so all you really know about it was, you know, Anakin's turning into Vader and stuff like that. That's really all you know about it. But yeah, I mean, I just remember I didn't know what Mustafar was and stuff like that. But I don't know if it was the trailers. You know, I can't really pinpoint it or something like that. I'm sure it was. But just hearing rumors of you know, the battle on, again, Mustafar on the fire planet and stuff like that, being a little kid and going like, this is the coolest thing ever, and seeing CGI sort of not its inception, but going to you know, getting to be used more and more and more in things that they could do. But it was still one of my favorite Star Wars movies, and just being amazed in that theater. And yeah, so episode 3 means an absolute lot to me, and I love Star Wars. So that's it. I apologize if I don't have more in-depth memories, and I definitely forgot some films over the years. But what was your earliest movie theater memory? Be sure to let me know in the comments section down below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check me out on Instagram at MovieMagic1996. Thank you so much for everything, and go watch a movie today.